Today, we're going to be focused on creating your first resume. We all have to apply for jobs at some point in our lives, and we're going to have to make resumes. And we're going to submit those resumes to future employers, and we want those resumes to look really good. And so, we're going to focus today on making your own first resume. So, let's get started. Alrighty, so we're going to be filling out your resume. Please follow along by clicking the link at the bottom of the YouTube video so you can fill out your own resume as you watch. So the first thing that we'll need to do is updating the name at the top. So you can go ahead and put your name. I'll put mine for here. And then below it says your description. So this is a description of who you are and why you're applying. So I'm going to say I am a hard-working high school junior looking for work experience. Okay? Now, next section below is education. So this is just describing where you're at. So I am currently enrolled at Madera South High School. I'm going to say I'm a junior, so that means I started in August of 2020. I believe that's correct. And I'm presently at Madera South High School still. Now, below this, you're going to put some education achievements, some of the classes that you're taking. So, for example, let's say you're in the ag pathway. That may be something that you would include here if you were applying for something ag-related. But if you're just a typical high school student, don't have anything that you'd like to highlight for the job, let's say you're in the medical pathway, but you're applying to work at Starbucks, for example, you just want to put generally the kinds of things that you're doing. So I'm going to write down here, I am enrolled in 2 dual enrollment classes. I have been on honor roll 3 times, and then a part of the Stallion Honor Society. So what these 3 things tell a potential employer is that you're a hard worker, you care about how you perform, and that you're part of some organizations that are gearing you towards future success. Now, next section is experience. Now, for some of you, this is going to be your first job that you're creating this resume for, and some of you, you'll have a previous job that you'll want to include in this experience section. So I'll show you 2 different examples. So we'll start if you have an actual job experience in a job where you filled out paperwork, you get paid by an employer that's not your family or something. So this would be an example. Let's say your previous job is that you worked at Burrito King. Your job title would be something like dishwasher. Maybe you wash dishes. You'll put that you had that job since, let's say, June of this year, and you're presently employed, but you're looking for a new job. So you're going to put some of your job responsibilities. So wash dishes and cups, for example, mopped floors. What else might you do as a dishwasher? Dried dishes, for example. All right. So those might be some examples of some job duties. Now let's say that you haven't had a job and that you're applying for your first job. So we might add something down here. Let's say, for example, that you're an office assistant at school. So at school that you've helped with that. So this is something where you wouldn't put your employer because it's your high school, and then you'd put that I did this, since this year, so I'll just put below here. Just copy and paste this, put this below here. So let's say August 2022 to present. What do you do as an office assistant? You do things like deliver packages, drop off slips to classrooms, make copies and sort files, stuff like that. Now let's say you haven't had a job at school, quote unquote, so have any kind of work experience at school or professional experience. You could even add something like, for example, let's go ahead and copy this right here, just adding more and more sections. You could put something as simple as like babysitting, for example. So let's say you've been doing this for 2 years now. Okay. So, and then you below it, just like the previous one, you'll just put some of the things you did a babysitter. Made dinner for kids, put kids to bed, make sure that rules are followed. So, I don't know. I mean, just anything generic that just shows them that you're responsible. Really, right? What you're trying to show when you're looking through these work experience, what an employer, is looking through this work experience, they just want to know that you're responsible, that they can trust you. Because most of the time, the skills that you would learn, they will teach you on the job. Okay, they're not expecting you to come in knowing everything about how to do work, do the work that they're going to hire you for. They're going to train you, but they do want to know that you're responsible. So that would be why you might add something like babysitting, even though it's not considered, like a job. It's valuable in terms of the experience and the responsibility that you gathered. All right, so now let's go down to community service involvement. So this is extracurricular or non-work related things that you're involved in. So this could be sports, this could be clubs. I'm going to go ahead and put a club that I am a part of because I'm the club advisor, the chess club. And I'm going to say my role is the president. And then below here, you might put some organizational responsibilities. So something like ran meetings, helped to make flyers, to promote tournaments, for example. So just any kind of responsibilities that shows that you're involved and that you're a hard worker. All right, next section, skills. Skills can be a lot of different things. Some of the most valuable would be some things you can do with computers. So if proficient at using Google Docs. So proficient is a good word to use in this section at Google Docs, Google Sheets. A lot of you have to use Google PowerPoint, Google Slides. So those are valuable skills that a future employer might be interested in. Another good one that a lot of people put is their words per minute typing. So word per minute speed, I'll say 50. There's a lot of different skills. You can say that you have some experience. Let's say if you're applying for a job where you're going to be using your hands a lot, completed is a good word. Completed introduction to welding course, for example. There's lots of different skills you could put here. Anything that you would see that you know how to do that you bring to the table at a future employer. Next is awards and we'll say recognitions might be a good thing. So awards or recognitions. So in some way how you've been considered by your community to have done something outstanding. So we could say honor roll, student of the week, for example. Maybe you got that kind of award. Something along those lines. And last is other. So other can really be anything that you haven't included here. So maybe you could say here if you're bilingual, that's something that a lot of future employers would see as valuable. So let's say I'm bilingual in Spanish and English. Something else that you might be familiar with. So, something attribute about you that you would want a future employer to know. And so there's lots of things that you can include here, but it's really anything that you would see as you haven't included in education, experience, community involvement, skills, awards, or recognitions. Okay? And the last little section up here is the address. This is so they can contact you either by phone or by email, and then just shows where you live. Okay? So that's the basic overview for how to create your first resume. Hopefully this was helpful, and stay tuned for future content related to professional work experience. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, and hopefully you'll have a good understanding of how to fill out a resume. And you can use this template just by clicking the link at the bottom of the YouTube video, opening it up and following along with this video and filling out your own resume. And hopefully you'll get that first job that you apply for.